Hi, hello, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariana, but you can call me Mari. And today I will be discussing the Summer Splash readathon. Alright, so before we get into the readathon itself, I still want to mention, upon everything that's happening in the United States with Roe v. Wade, I also wanted to include a little segment in this video, like Ali did in hers, in giving some recommendations for novels or informative texts that we can all read to understand the history behind abortion. And everything that is happening in the United States obviously affects other communities internationally. And here, specifically in Latin America, abortion has been illegal throughout time. So abortion rights are a very new thing in Latin America. Only in Argentina is abortion legal. And here in Chile in 2017, abortion was considered legal under certain circumstances. But unfortunately, a lot of medics and doctors can deny the procedure due to moral consciousness or moral reasoning under the law. And so upon everything that's been going on and the craziness that is restricting women's choices, and just the awful reality that we as women and LGBTQ plus people have to fight constantly for our rights. And it's a constant battle where if we give way just a little bit, it can be taken all away. And so it's terrifying, but it's also inspiring to hear from so many people and how we can all connect with each other and create community around issues that are so horrible so that we don't feel alone. And so, considering all that, I wanted to recommend some books from the United States, but also from Latin America about this issue and about abortion. Some are more historical and some are fiction novels that are all very, very important. And so, beginning with the United States, I want to mention a book that deals with the history before Roe v. Wade, which is The Girls That Went Away by Anne Fessler. And then I want to mention Jane Against the World by Karen Blunt-Menthol, which is a recommendation by Black Stacks. And for this one, it's more of the history before and then after Roe v. Wade. And apparently it's very, very good. I plan on reading it too. So if you're interested, also join us in reading that one. And then I want to mention a fiction novel that I will also be reading this month, which is called The Mothers by Britt Bennett, which is also extremely important because the mortality for pregnancies in the United States is highest for Black women. And abortion is an issue of class and race and poverty, and all of that is included in this novel by the amazing Britt Bennett. I am so excited to be reading this novel, and I thoroughly recommend you read it as well if you're interested. But also I want to mention some books from Latin America, specifically from Argentina. I want to mention one specifically called Claudia Pinero, who is an activist and a feminist for women's rights in Argentina, and she has written 2 novels surrounding the issue of abortion. The first one is called Elena Knows, and this has been translated into English, so it's one that you can all read. And the second one that I will be personally reading for this readathon is called Catedrales by Claudia Pinero, which deals with a girl that dies because of an abortion. So, considering all of that, I will be mentioning these books, some of these books, in the TBR for the Summer Splash readathon, but I thoroughly recommend that we all get more involved and that we all get more informed in the issues of abortion. So moving on to my Summer Splash TBR, I will be going through each bingo square. I probably won't be reading every single one of these books, and I will be probably combining some squares because there are a lot of books here. But I still wanted to recommend different books for each square in case you are joining us in this readathon. So, for Surf's Up, read a book with a body of water on the cover. I picked Outline by Richard Cusk because it has a beach and a shell, a seashell, and so I'll be reading this one. I know nothing about it. I just liked the cover, I liked the format, and I liked the first line of the book, which says, "Before the flight, I was invited for lunch at a London club with a billionaire I'd been promised had liberal credentials." And that's what got me interested in reading it. Then, for Roots, which is to read a childhood favorite, I picked the childhood favorite. This is the book that got me into reading in the first place, which is Twilight by Stephenie Meyer. It's about time I reread this book. It's been years and years and years, and I am planning on doing like a specific type of video with this, and so I'm really excited to read it and to go back to Twilight, even though I know it's not gonna hold up well throughout the years, but you know, that's what literature is for, and I think this is almost like a classic, like a young adult classic, so I need to reread it, and so I will be reading Twilight for this one. Then for the Square of Heat Waves, read a book set entirely in the summer. This was really difficult to find, and upon researching, I'm not sure if this book actually applies for the Square, but I'm still going to count it as part of this, which is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I haven't read this book ever, so I cannot believe I haven't read this book, and I feel like it's something that I need to do. It also could count as the like easy breezy one because it's under 200 pages, so I'll probably be combining those, but I will give you another recommendation for that Square, don't worry. But yes, I will be reading this book in July, and I'm really excited because it's a classic. Then for buddy read a book with a friend, I will be joining all the other pals in reading I Kissed Sarah Wheeler by Casey Mckinston, and I have never read a Casey Mckinston book before, so I'm very excited. I also really love just anything gay, anything lesbian, anything LGBTQ+. I love those types of romance. I've become very much invested in reading more, and so I'm really excited to be joining them in this buddy read, and I hope also you are all invited to do this as well and to join us in reading this book, and we will be discussing it throughout the month. So yeah, exciting things. I'm so happy. All right, moving on to Easy Breezy, which is a book under 200 pages, and for this I chose Saints and Strangers by Angela Carter, and this is a very short book about different vignettes, kind of like short stories about people in the city. That's all I know about it. That's all I need to know. I've heard a lot of things about Angela Carter, and I'm really excited to read this. I also have The Bloody Chamber in my shelves, and I need to read it as well in my TBR shelf, and so I will try to get to this sometime in July. It has like 100 pages. It's very short. Yeah, it has like 120 pages, so I think I can get through this pretty fast, and I'll try to read it because I'm really excited. In the back, it says, drawing on American history, literary legend, and folktale, Angela Carter transports us to that shadowy country between fact and myth. That sounds so interesting. So here we're following many different people in kind of like the American environment, I guess. Alright, so that's the book I'll be reading for Easy Breezy. Then, for Sunny Days, book with yellow in the cover. I honestly don't really have many books with yellow in the cover, so I'm just gonna repeat it. I'm just gonna say this one has yellow, this one has yellow. I'm sorry. I make my own rules. Okay, moving on to the next one. Pride, a book with a gay main character, and for this I am finally reading The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and I don't know if I'm prepared, I don't know if my heart is ready, but it is, but it isn't, but I'm so excited. This is a story about Achilles and Patroclus and their love, or their intense friendship as historians call it, and this is a retelling of the myth, and I'm so excited to get to this. I've been meaning to read this book for years, and so the time has finally come for me to read The Song of Achilles. Then for Branch Out, which is read from a genre you don't usually read, this is not necessarily a genre that I don't usually read, but it's a book that has scared me for quite a while because of the title, but I've heard many good things about it, and so I will be adding it to my TBR for this, which is called The Virgin's Suicide by Jeffrey Eugenides. And for this book, I know that it's about 4 sisters who all commit throughout a whole year, and we follow their lives and their perspectives, I'm guessing. I don't know much about this, so I'm trying also to like keep an open mind and read it as I go and trying to see how I feel about it. But I can't promise anything. I hope I like it. So that's why I consider it branching out, because I'm scared. I'm honestly a little bit scared of reading this, but I'm also excited. So that's why I'm including it on this TBR for July and for the readathon. Then we have Hot Girl Summer, which is to read a book written by a woman. For this one, I will include Catedrales by Claudia, Pinero, which is the book I mentioned before. And this one is a mystery thriller about a girl who is found killed and burned in a church. So that's why it's called Catedrales. And then for Spice It Up, read a book by an author of color, I will also mention The Mothers by Britt Bennett, which I will be listening to in an audiobook. I already borrowed it, so I'm like waiting for July to start reading it. And I'm hoping it can give me some insight into different perspectives and different realities. So I'm really, really hoping to learn from that book. Just get different insights and just read from more women and from more women of color and more diversity. I think it's also amazing to just keep on branching out and also to keep on reading. Then for summer vacation, read a translated work. I will be continuing Grotesque by Natsu Quirino. And I started this in June, but I don't think I will be able to finish it this month. So I will push it to July and finish it then. This is a translated Japanese novel about a crime that occurred in 2 different instances of 2 different sisters who both appeared murdered. And we follow what happened to both of them as their lives are different from each other, and they're both very different people. And so far, it's really interesting. I just haven't had the time to read it, and I'm going to keep on reading it now. Then, for Sandcastles, which is read a book featuring royalty. For this one, well, I can also kind of fit in The Song of Achilles. But for this one, I also want to read Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey Mckinston, because again, I have never read any of her books, and I'm really interested in reading that one because it has royalty and because I want to read it. And it's about, I think, the son of a prince or the son of a king, maybe, and like a guy, and they fall in love. I'm really not explaining these books very well, but it's just because I like to go into books not knowing much, especially romances. So that's why I don't really want to spoil myself and search what it is about. I just know that it has royalty. And then, lastly, for Share the Love, which is to read someone's favorite book, I chose The Song of Achilles because this is Sally Thames' favorite book. Also, very important, Sally Thames is the one that started the readathon, and she is the one that decided to include all of us. I'm just very thankful for the opportunity to create community and to be part of this community. I think I've already learned so much from every single one of the creators that are participating in this readathon, and I can't wait to continue talking and to continue communicating our love for books. And so what better way of doing that than by reading her favorite book? So I will be reading The Song of Achilles, mostly because it's Sally Thames' favorite book and also because I wanted to read it for a while. So yeah, that is my Summer Splash TBR video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are all joining us in this, and stay hydrated, take care of yourself, and I will see you in my next video very soon. Bye bye.